The highlight of my week was probably ordering the stuff for my big dick.
Ah, yeah, we're back to these jokes.
Had to get it in there, man.
Jenny, are you there?
Yes.
Actually,
Hey.
when my dick's finished, I'm going to have a dick warming party.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Tell me now if you want me to not start.
Start.
We want Chili Willy! We want Chili Willy!
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers.
Yeah, huh?
Jimmy and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you play.
I just fell on my bottom into some butterscotch.
Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
Oh, come on, let's get down. Come on, everybody. Check me out. I'm dancing. I'm dancing.
It's the veteran gamers.
Shut up, you American. You always talk, you American. You talk and you talk and you say, let me tell you something, and I just want to say this.
Hello and welcome to episode 436 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yay, 436, and there's gonna be a bunch of decks that Stu is preparing and whatever. I'm Duke.
I'm Shu.
I'm ill.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Jenny.
Well, not ill, just hay fever. I was
I was going to say, it's hay fever. I thought, have you not had the injection thing
no,
this year?
no. Injection only lasts 3 months. So I'm gonna have it at the end of July, beginning of August.
I see what you do. I see what you're doing there.
Can you not have two?
No, well, you're not supposed to have them in so close together because it thins your bones.
You just let the doctor tell you how to live your life?
I generally believe what the doctor tells me.
Tool.
Yeah, I went gardening. Well, I didn't go gardening. I did gardening yesterday, and
Sounds to me like we got some kind of
favorite
story
time. It's story time.
it's an epic story.
Yeah.
I did some gardening, and
Yeah.
then I got hay fever from it.
Oh, no.
That is epic.
That's the story.
That's
so
the whole story.
I'm going to be muted for a lot of times.
Tell it again, Chinny.
I'm trying to sniff away from the mic, all sorts of stuff. Hey, what? I shared a video with you two today.
You did?
Yeah, but it's not ready for public consumption, so we can't talk about it. Oh, man.
Nope.
Well, it just means it was, if you think it's fine, then I'll release it.
It's fine. Release it.
Yeah, it looked good.
He's
It was
cracking.
fine.
Yeah, it's the EGX video for Friday.
Yeah.
One down, man. One
One
down. Two to
down,
go.
and I
And
start.
if you're listening to this and you've never watched one of Chinny's videos, what you have to understand is it's not just video footage of the event. Chinny does a lot of fun editing. So, at one point he asks Stu, what have you been playing at the EGX? And he says, whatever he's been playing. And Chinny just puts like shit on the screen. It's great.
Oh, yeah. I'm used to it, though. That's what I'm there for. I'm
Yeah.
the fall guy.
So
Just saying that kind of editing makes it fun, even if you're, you were there or you're not thinking, this is going to be exciting. It is exciting. It's fun. You got to check it out.
Here's the thing with Chinny's videos, right? They take a long time to come.
But they're worth it.
But they're worth it in the end. They're slick. They're slick. Yeah.
there you go.
It's pretty
So Fridays will be. It's not public yet, but I'll literally publish it in a bit, and then that's that done.
There is, by the way, there is something we do need to discuss.
Uh-oh.
Something we need to discuss.
Go ahead.
Because
Shoot.
in just over a month's time, Chinny and I will be in Amsterdam.
Yes.
Yeah.
And both of us, I would imagine, on the Sunday, have no idea what time we're going to get home. So the chances are, neither of us, it's just going to be you. Neither of us will be available for the show. So we need to discuss what's going to happen.
Sorry, when is that?
That is week beginning for me. It's the 15th is the Friday, and so it'll be the 17th. Is that right?
Of what
Sunday-
month? Sorry.
This month. Coming, June. 17th of June. So it's just over a month away.
So not this month, next month.
Yeah,
This
next
month
month.
is
Next
May.
month.
The
Yeah,
month
I
we're
get
in
that.
is May.
I get that. 17th
The
of
17th.
June.
It's Father's Day in the United States. I'm gonna be at Red Lobster for lunch. Okay. So veteran gamers alone? Question mark.
Exactly. What's gonna happen?
Maybe I can round up some of my real friends.
I know. Maybe that's what you'll have to do.
Maybe.
Because, like, Chini's still going to be stoned potentially anyway. He's going to be space caked out, so he's not going to be any use to
I feel
it.
like I'm in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be knackered anyway. So.
Chinny, I know you don't drink. Are you planning on ingesting other things in Amsterdam?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Straight out.
Gotta get
No
video
messing.
footage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway.
So anyway, all right, we'll figure it out. That's not for like a month.
I mean,
It isn't, but I thought give some warning, you
I
know,
just
'cause
wanna-
it is only just
I just
want
want to clarify. I'm dying right now. Like, just
Die?
Why are you
so
repeating yourself? Boring.
if there's a delay on me responding, it's because I mute the mic and I'm dying. Okay.
That's fine. Go ahead and die. Just don't.
Yeah, just die already. So what are you
Yeah.
wasting time doing? Just die.
No, I mean we're just saying like go through the process of being ill. You don't have to. Keep
No,
telling
just die already. Just
No, we
die.
don't want you to die. Stop telling Chinny to
Die. Die.
Anyway, I have a story. The other day I went to make some cookies and I let them cook for too long and now they're all burnt. So I have these like chunks of carbon in
That's
here
what tends to happen if you overcook cookies.
apparently. So
Apparently.
that's a lesson to myself. Don't overcook the cookies. I don't know why I buy these stupid cookies every year. They're not that great, but the students I have who are in track or whatever are always like, "You want to buy some cookie dough?" And every year I buy it and then I go, "I'm not buying that next year." And then the next year comes along and you want to buy some cookie dough? And I go, "Okay." And then I buy it and I eat them and I'm like, "I'm not buying that next
They
year."
see you come in, they're like, Mr. P.
They
I'll buy
do.
it."
They do. Easy
Fucking
target.
Sucker. Exactly.
They
So
go,
anyway,
look at that. Look at that fatster coming here. He'll definitely buy the cookie dough.
well, no, if they come to my classroom, I'm not some random guy in the hall.
Well, he might be.
What?
Easy target for the sales, though. They know when you come to your class, you're going to buy the cookie dough.
Well, yeah, but that's not. Here comes that guy. Anyway,
All right.
what?
There's
The
that
other
guy.
The other story is about a while back. The Duchess bought this chicken coop, and it's fancy. It's like a fancy chicken coop. Now all
Does
the
it have
money.
does it have like elevators in it and shit?
No, but it's got like a nice ramp. Like it's really well made. It's got this like thick glass on it, and it's got this
Nice.
fancy metal roof. It's like a pretty hoity-toity
Look
chicken
at
coop.
you with your fancy pants chicken
Now,
coop.
all the proceeds went to the local. It's called Tiny Houses Project. It basically provides housing for homeless folks. So it's a really good project. You know, there's no problem with her paying money for this chicken coop, but it's positioned in our backyard in such a way that when it rains, the water falls off it right into our porch. So finally, she said, we need to install a rain gutter on that side. So we've been spending the afternoon doing that. Mostly her. I just stood there holding things. But I was like, this isn't exactly what I want to be doing with my Sunday. But then I realized, you know what? If I play the Stardew Valley soundtrack, it's not as onerous. So that's what I did. Hooray, Stardew Valley. So that made the afternoon go by a little faster.
So let me ask you a question then.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this weekend coming when I'm nailing me dick to the wood, and so should I listen to that to get me through all the hard and heavy
Yes.
graft that I'll be doing?
Have you played Stardew Valley?
Nope.
Well, you need to play it because it won't have any connection for you if you just listen to the music without playing the game.
I don't know. It sounded quite soothing, if I'm being
It is
honest.
quite soothing, and you should listen to it, but it'll have more of an impact if you play the game first. So play the game this week, and then this coming weekend, you can listen to it while you're dealing with your deck.
My giant dick. Do you know, I've got 2 friends round to come and help with my giant dick because it's so huge.
All right, talking about what we've been playing. Here we go.
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been playing?
Yeah, so
I think Chinny should start because I want to hear how he's doing on The Witcher 3.
Yeah, let's see. Do you know what? Just before he starts, I'm shocked at how many times he's played it.
How has he played it?
Well, it's another 2 times since last week, I believe. I could be wrong.
All right, Dying Man, let's hear it.
Yeah, Dying Man, let's hear it.
So I'm playing the fucking Witcher still. Follow us on Instagram to get funny stories of me playing it. It's hilarious.
I don't want to have Instagram. Damn, why can't you just put it on Twitter?
Because Twitter is for old people. Instagram is where it's at now.
No, it isn't. Snapchat if you're young.
Yeah, that's true. Kids are all on Snapchat. No, fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Right, I'm playing The Witcher 3. I've got to like the big area now in The Witcher 3. So I'm out the sort of introduction area. Yeah, and I'm doing like a big.
Is it like Novigrad and all that malarkey?
It's full of brummies.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's full of brummies. Brummies, by the way, Duke, is people from Birmingham, which is very close to where I'm from, which is
Britain to be back British.
And people call me.
Is it a yam yam?
I'm technically a yam yam. A yam yam's from Wolverhampton. A brummie is from Birmingham, but people outside of the region don't notice the difference. For example, so
it's very offensive if they don't.
Yeah, if they call me a brummie, I'm like, I'm not a brummie. I'm a fucking yam yam.
Fuck you.
And then I
do we have any brummies listening? That's the question. Write in and tell us what it's like being a brummie.
Johnny Wilson.
John Mouse is a brum mouse.
Yeah,
he's a brum mouse.
He's a brum mouse. Yeah, John Mouse is a brummie.
Right.
Carl.
John, how's your school going? Write in and tell us.
Carl from a band of gamers and the Entertain Nerds is a brummie. He's from Sutton, which is the posh end of Birmingham. And oh, by the way, Stepchat's in the chat, and he's Stepchat's in the chat, and he's being sarcastic. He's like, chat's lively tonight. No one's talking in the chat. He's on his own. Talk to Jay. He's got no one to talk to. Anyway, I'm playing The Witcher 3. First of all, the loading times in The Witcher are fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. They're so bloody long. Yeah, I did a few quests. I did a quest that I quite liked, actually. There was this woman, she's missing. You go into this new area, and she's like, oh, she's missing. And you're like, all right, whatever. And then it looks like she's been eaten by a werewolf. And you're like, oh, that's tragic. And then you find the werewolf, and you work out that her sister led her to the werewolf because she's all into the werewolf, who's a bloke. And I was like, what? And I actually found that interesting. And then you have a bit of an option at the end, whether you can kill the werewolf or not, or whatever. And I did the worst thing possible because I thought that was funny. And yeah, there's this. So the game's really opened up now in The Witcher. It's really sort of gone right. This is it. This is the biggest world. This is the biggest area. You got loads to go at. I still feel like I haven't gone at it all yet, but I think I'm about 9 hours in now. And the thing is about this game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it fucking drags on, doesn't it? Like,
oh, just wait, holy.
Just like I was playing a cut. Like I started a mission. I was right. This mission will be like a mission or something. I don't know.
Was this a side mission or part of the story?
I don't know. So I go up to this dude and I go, right, let's start a mission. And I go, all right. And then he goes, oh, we gotta go down here. All right. And then there's another cutscene. And all right, okay. And then I gotta kill someone. There's another cutscene. And I go, okay, right, okay, fine. I'll kill these 3 people. Then there's another cutscene. I'm like, for fuck's sake, how many cutscenes are there in this stupid game?
A lot. 700,000.
There's so many.
I sent some through my laundry.
I know. There's so many of them. I started a mission. I thought it would be a quick mission. It just turned into this epic thing.
That happens a lot with some of the side missions. You think it's going to be just
what I gotta tell you, Ginny, about
lots of parts.
Ginny, you should know about this game. When you on any mission that you think might be a quick mission, it's not. There's no.
I'm finding that out. Which I suppose if I'm a bit more mentally prepared for that, then that's okay. But I was just like,
can you ever really be mentally prepared for? I don't know.
Can you be prepared for the Spanish Inquisition?
So I met this witch, and she's all having a bath. You know, she's got her baps out and stuff.
Is this Yennefer? You met Yennefer?
It might be her. I don't know. I'm not paying attention. Right?
You're the type of guy who always pays attention to the names of characters.
Yes,
in games.
she's got massive tats. Right? She doesn't have massive tats.
They all have big tats.
Yeah, but anyway, so she's all like, "Oh, don't look at me," and I'm like, "You've already showed me your nipples. Like, why are you like telling me to turn around now? You stupid idiot. You stupid witch." And she's all like, "Yo," she gives it the big un at the start, and she's all like, "Yeah, we gotta." I can't remember. Oh yeah, look for Siri or some shit. And I'm like, "Cool."
Yeah, that's story mission. That.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, let's look for Siri." And then you go and look for Siri, and then there's some fucking knights and shit, and they're called the Wild Hunt, and they're all like weird and frozen for some reason. And
this is a lot of the lore from obviously the Witcher series previous to this.
Yeah, well, you're getting it from a point of view of someone who have no idea what's going on, and so she gets a bit pussyfied. Then she's like, "Oh no, like I was just looking for Siri. I wasn't coming down here to fight the fucking Wild Hunt, you mad bastard." And you're all like, "Well, I'm here now, so let's do it." So then you fight one, and they're easy. I don't know why everybody's so scared.
Hurry up and get the unicorn so you can have sex with her.
Yeah. I don't know. It's good. The game's good. I still feel like Geralt controls like a fucking shit piece of turd. This dungeon that I went down here on the screen. This is the werewolf mission here, and I went down here. The first time I went down, I jumped. I just jumped down by accident. And I died, and it was literally a 4-foot drop. That happened. So it's one of those games, and I suppose that you can't say that that's not in Skyrim, because that bullshit's also in Skyrim. What I will now, obviously it's natural for me to compare it to Skyrim because it's been such a hot topic, so I will. Hot. So. There are many things that I like about The Witcher over Skyrim, but there's also many things I like about Skyrim over The Witcher. So it's a very difficult debate. So
Stop
I'd say
equivocating and make a decision.
No. So the thing.
No, you gotta wait till he gets to the end to make a final decision. You can't make it 9 hours in.
No, I can't make a decision now. But like the thing with Skyrim is it's slow at the start with the intro, and you've got to make your character, and after that it's like fuck you, do everything, which I quite like about it. And the only time I really felt like Skyrim was slow was when you meet the Greybeards and they're all like fucking wanking off over the cliff or something.
I get that out of the way every time I do a new run.
It's so boring. It's so boring. And there's not many. I know you talk to a lot of people in that game, but I don't feel like there's a lot of times where I just go, for fuck's sake, just get on with it. Whereas,
because most of the time you can skip through dialogue if you want to, and it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't really matter. In The Witcher,
Bethesda tells shit stories.
In The Witcher, I find that there's a lot of me rolling my eyes of like, oh my god, another cutscene. Because the problem is because the action is so good in The Witcher. I really enjoy fighting and killing shit.
Oh yeah, the fighting system is very good.
It's very, very good, and it's a difficult game. I'm playing it on like normal or whatever, and it's not easy. And I appreciate that.
Like I say, if you ever see anything a few levels above you, you're gonna have a tough battle.
Even a level like on your par, it's pretty tough. And you have a few. I'm fighting like a werewolf.
Magic stuff.
Yeah, and I'm people come into the chat and say, use magic, use shield, you fucking idiot. And that's just my mom, But like I get it. I'm not like adept with it yet. But sorry for the sniffing. I apologise. But I'm getting there, and I understand that it's like not doing it well enough yet. But it's okay. I'm getting there, and I just find it's I think the pace is a little bit off for me at the moment with The Witcher. Like I really like it, but I feel like it doesn't value my time very well because it drags shit out. And I understand it's a rich lore and all that sort of stuff, but I don't care. And I feel like
look, that's the thing. Skyrim has a lot of rich lore too, but they put it in these books and they say it's
they
totally
put it in,
up.
but it's all out the way, and I'm never going to read them, so that's fine. Whereas The Witcher's like, oh, tell me more. And even in The Witcher, there's dialogue options to find out more, and whenever I see that, I go, no, and you know,
What the fuck is that for?
yeah, tell me more about this. I'm like, fuck that shit. So I try and get through. Generally, like my Geralt, he's pretty like he doesn't want to know the details. You know what I mean? If there's a werewolf to kill, I'll kill it. All right, I don't want to know.
The Witcher's like, to be fair, that is Geralt's
but
character.
you
He
can't
does the job, gets the cash.
Yeah, but in Geralt, Geralt does have the option like, tell me more about why you shit your pants this morning. You know, like whatever it is. So you just like.
To be fair, that would be an interesting thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing that interesting in the game.
No, so I've skipped ahead a little bit here. This is me with Yennefer, and you know, you're looking for these things on the wall, for example. So you know, there's a lot of padding in this game because what happens here is like you have to find like a horse on a wall, right? Like a drawing of a horse on a wall, and there's other drawings, and if you touch those, other things will happen. So if I went up to one, and like a clone of me and Yennefer started fighting me. And I was like, right. So I start fighting them, and they took a lot of health from me. I think they killed me. And then I came back again, and then I found the horse drawing straight away. And I never had that fight with the clones anymore. So there is a lot of stuff in The Witcher, and I do appreciate there's a lot of stuff. But I feel like the cutscenes slow everything down a little bit too much. I would like it if it was less like in your face with the cutscenes. I do like the game now,
but I do get where you're coming from, but I do think part of that is because they want to tell this in-depth story, don't they? They want to tell the story. That's.
I know, but like I know we
tell it and tell it and they tell it.
Well, what just happened on the screen there? I went over to jump into the water and I died, and it was where I was supposed to go. You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird jank stuff that happens.
So you'll never find anything jank in Skyrim.
You see, interestingly, yeah, right. Interestingly, I think you probably enjoy Blood and Wine better.
Blood and Wine.
You're just playing the wrong Witcher 3 game, Chinny.
No, only because they tell a great story, but it's done in a much more condensed fashion.
Stu, fuck that. It's DLC. So I'm judging the game when I'm playing. Right.
Expansions.
So right. Fuck you, because you keep going, play The Witcher 3, play The Witcher 3. I'm playing The Witcher 3. Fuck you. How dare you?
Don't get me wrong. The Witcher 3 is an amazing game, and I love it, and I don't care about.
It's not as good as the DLC.
No, I'm not saying it's not amazing. I just think that's better suited to
never good enough. It's never good enough for you, is it, Stu? I get a chicken dinner on the PC, and you say it was the fucking gaming mouse. I play The Witcher 3, and you tell me to play the DLC. Whenever you're gonna be fucking happy.
To play the, I mean play the DLC after you finish The Witcher 3.
Well, I probably will, but I'm not playing that now. I'm playing this.
40 hours in.
Anyway, I'm going through this thing, and some dwarf keeps leaving a voice message for like Siri or some shit, and he's all like, "Oh, Siri, you know, open the door or something," and it's all weird.
I think you're talking about
an elf, a dwarf. They're all the same
dwarf
to
is
me.
The guy who meets up with you and how are you doing, Geralt?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, oh yeah, I met him. Yeah, it's all good. It's fine. I do like it. I played quite a bit of it. I'm liking The Witcher 3. I'm streaming it mainly every Wednesday. So if you want to watch me stream it, then go ahead, make my day. And they're all on YouTube as well. So if you want to watch me play The Witcher, they drop the C word a lot, don't they?
Oh yeah, I mean. The one thing I think you'll find in this over Skyrim, I guess, is it's more mature. Is that the right word?
It's not mature. It's more adult rated. But when there's a
I don't mean adult rated. But I think it's
woman with big tits and she's in a bath.
No,
that's not mature. That's
I think it's trying to tell a much more serious story.
At times.
And you know, when you get to the bloody Baron quest, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
That's where I am.
Yeah,
He's the big Brummy guy, isn't he?
He is.
I like him. Anyway, yeah, I've got a few notes here. Fucking loads of cutscenes is one of my notes. Jumping is dumb. The trophy of the first beast you kill, and you can put it as like a thing on your horse. Like
oh yeah.
That was class. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed having the severed head on my horse.
Yeah, but obviously, as you kill different
More ones,
creatures,
you get different trophies. I understand that.
Yes, and they all have different attributes, so they all add something to your game style.
I guessed as much.
Yeah, very. It's cool.
Yeah, they show you Gwent too early, because Gwent shit.
It's never too early for Gwent.
Yeah, no, you just ignore Gwent.
No, they keep throwing it in your face as well. I was doing some other quests. I was in some palace or something. You have to learn how to bow and all sorts of shit. See, that's the other thing. There's a quest where you got to get changed, and and I understand.
Nice clothes.
And you got to like address the fucking prince or some shit like that, and I'm like, oh, it was so slow, and it feels like it's, I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit unnecessary. Yes, I'd say that's what I feel like so far. It's like a lot of the cutscenes I feel like are unnecessary.
Yeah, can I just say as well, where the Bloody Baron or whatever it is, do you know there's a little sort of armor person there, and he has a really good quest when you're a high enough level to get some really cool armor and stuff.
Good for him. I feel like
it's just good to know.
This is like a game. This is like Peter Jackson the game. Right, because he has no idea how to edit things down, Peter Jackson, and that's what like The Witcher 3 is. It just goes on, forever, and it's good. I do recognise it's good though, so I'm enjoying it. Is what I'll say.
Good. No, I think it'll get better as you go.
I think so. Well, yeah.
It will and it won't, because there is, and I even agree with Duke on some of the later stuff. Because I got to a point where I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, let's just get to finding Ciri.
No, I don't want to mix messages. I think this is a really good game. This is a great game. I can see why it gets so high praise. It just drags on a bit, with the cutscene.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I do.
All right, let's do round robin. I'm done with The Witcher 3.
Who's next?
You're next, Stu, because I have to go clean up some dog vomit. I'll be right back.
Oh.
I'll go next then. Well, obviously God of War's probably the biggest game that I'm still playing this week.
Yeah.
So I'm still in it, man. I'm still in it. But I don't know, my playtime's been quite restricted over the last few weeks for various reasons.
Is it because you've got hemorrhoids?
It is because I have hemorrhoids. I feel like I need a really big sesh. Right. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm playing it in too short of spurts, if you will.
I see what you mean, yeah.
I feel like I need to do a sit down and play like 4 or 5 hours straight, because I'm doing a lot of stopping and starting with God of War. And I'm spending a lot of time trying to get every single chest, and some of them are a bit complex, and you're like, how the fuck do I get there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you have to use your noggin to work out how to get to them.
Yeah.
And I'm getting there, I'm starting to understand it. But yeah, I am enjoying it, and I'm waiting. The story beats at the moment, the kind of just, it's a bit samey at the moment. Nothing's real, but I know stuff's gonna come. Stuff's gonna go down. So I'm waiting for something big to happen. But I guess that's the problem with only playing it in, like I say, these short spells.
Yeah.
So I just want to get still. I mean, I'm still probably only about 12 hours in, maybe, like 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to get further. I'm just into just come to the second area now. So that's where I'm at in the game. I've not died very much, but I'm not then playing on the sort of most difficult stage. And I feel like in some respects I maybe should up the difficulty level a bit, because I do feel it's almost not a challenge at all.
Right.
Because of the setting I'm playing on. So I'm really not sure what to do at this point, whether to sort of up it a bit and see. I don't know whether you can do that mid-game. I'm guessing you probably can.
Probably.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm very much enjoying it, but I just feel like I need more time. Yeah. I feel like I need more time. I've just not been...
So these sessions that you've been having... Sorry, I'm still wiping my nose. These, how long as the sessions are they? What's too short?
Probably only about an hour and a half, maybe 2 at the most.
See, that's I say this to Tara, like an hour of playing video games, like it's almost at that point. So like Tara says, you got an hour before we go out. Why don't you play the Xbox or something? I'm like, an hour? Like, you're not gonna get anything done in an hour.
No, it's like gone in a blink, innit? And you're like, ugh.
Like, time just works completely different when you're playing video games.
It does. It's so true. You know,
if I don't have a 2-hour block, I don't bother playing.
No, it's got to be 2 or more hours on it really to get into it, because it's weird because you not that you forget stuff, but you sort of you have to get into the groove, don't you? With certain, with different games, you've got to get in the groove.
I think between 2 and 4 hours, like look, that's a game session for me, and I'm happy now. I'm much older now, but in the younger days, I would just play as much as I can. After about 2 hours, if I have a 2-hour sesh, I'm all right for the day. Do you know what I mean? I've had my drug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see, do you know what I actually really like about The Witcher over a lot of RPGs and stuff? You upgrade your axe by sticking runes in it. So you can stick runes in your axe, runes in your armor, and all that. Like a lot.
Are you talking about The Witcher or God of War?
Sorry, God of War.
You just said The Witcher.
I know. It's because you talked about The Witcher for so long.
It's not my fucking fault.
You're playing, not the game Chinny's playing. Come on.
I know, yeah. No, what I really like about God of War, get the game right, is the rune system, because a lot of games, when you stick a rune in something, when you try to remove it, it breaks and you can't use it in anything else. And I always think that's really dumb. And I'm like, well, why? If I can socket it, why can't I just unsocket it without having to have some skill that I've got to acquire to allow me to do that? And in God of War, that's not a problem. If you stick something in a socket and then you get a new piece of armor, you can take it out and then stick it in your new piece of armor. Job done. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, why? It makes me think, like, why do a lot of these RPGs just make things difficult for the sake of being difficult?
Because then they make you appreciate it more.
I know, but it's like, I really don't.
Stupid. Yeah, I agree with you.
Give a shit. I just, if I've found a rare rune or a legendary rune and I put it in something, why does it have to break when I try and take it out? It's just like, let me take it out, stick it in something else. So it's good. I've got new armor. I like the upgrade system, actually. It's pretty good. So I've done quite a lot of upgrades. Atreus, the son, now can fight on his own a bit now, so I don't have to sort of direct him quite as much. And if I'm attacking an enemy, he'll jump on the back and punch him in the head and stuff, which is kind of cool to watch him do, or if they've got the back to him, he'll automatically attack them from behind, if they don't see him coming. So, yeah, I'm really, like I said...
Hey, Stu.
Yes.
I've got a confession to make.
What?
I've also been playing God of War.
Have you?
Started it today.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Started it this morning, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? How many hours have you managed, or how long?
I got to the fucking big
first big battle, shall we call it?
No, I got, what is it? It's like this big serpent thing.
Oh yeah, the end of the world. Serpent around the end of the world, or whatever it's called.
I saw him.
Because in Norse mythology, the serpent is wrapped around the whole world and swallowing its own tail.
Yeah, I got that. The little lad said it.
Yeah.
This game is fucking brilliant.
It is amazing, isn't it?
It's fucking great.
Let me ask you, Ravi, without spoilers, but
God of War's dead.
The first big battle that you have with a certain enemy is just amazing. Do you know what I'm talking about? It doesn't look the enemy you're fighting doesn't look that hard, but kind of is.
I'm trying to think of it. Who it is? Is it just after the deer thing?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. That's the tutorial to using your little lad, isn't it? Basically.
That's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about when he hides the little lad and there's a knock at the door.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God, that was amazing. What a great boss that was.
It's just like, what the fuck? When that happened, I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah. It's we can't talk about it, but we'll obviously do a spoiler show on this one,
Oh,
Stu.
for sure. Yeah.
And yeah, like that boss that you're talking about, Stu, is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal boss.
It reminds me a lot, like obviously God of War 3 at the beginning, you're just fighting these massive enemies right at the beginning of the game. This kind of does that, but it's a lot more sophisticated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same sort of thing, but it's more it's just a much more intelligent game and a lot. It's just a lot more interesting than old God of War games.
There's
so good.
There's so much that this does that you know, like there's one example of like a child in a video game isn't the most annoying thing in the world. Like the lad in it is first of all well acted, which is unusual, and also useful, which is also unusual. And I like the fact that he knows more than Kratos.
Than Dad.
Because he just goes, boy, and then he goes, well, this is the fucking serpent that goes around the edge of the world, you stupid idiot. You fucking dickhead.
And
Dad.
he can read all the runes and stuff.
And he can read all the runes and all this sort of stuff. He's like, boy, what does this say? I can't fucking read. And he's like, it says, Dad, that you're a massive twat. Yeah, the game's great. The combat's very satisfying. The axe is fantastic, and you can kind of see where the game's going with its some of its mechanics. You know, you can see that the axe has a frost thing on it. So then you go, oh, okay, well, obviously that's going to change at some point. And then there's certain situations that are quite interesting with your axe where, you know, you have to like keep your axe on something for it to hold. You know, if you hit a thing, it holds the gate open, and then if you call it back, it closes the gate, and then your brain goes, well, that's gonna come back, and that's gonna happen quite a lot. I absolutely loved it. I thought I just the intro to the game alone is great. But I'm where the serpent, they introduced the serpent, and it's the first big area you get a boat. And this is like the area where it goes, this game has a boat, and you can go anywhere. The whole upgrading shit thing, Stu, like it throws a lot at you. And I realised I'm playing The Witcher 3, which just threw a fucking shit ton. So compared to The Witcher 3, this is like The Hobbit compared to The Lord of the Rings.
It's simplistic,
but still, I feel like I didn't quite get everything that it was trying to tell me. But you know, it's not a short game, is it? So I kind of figured that I would probably work it out, and it's not too complicated. You upgrade your axe at the shop. You know, you add shit to it to make it different. You know, I kind of got it. I just didn't read it because I couldn't be bothered. And
what's kind of cool, it does a really good job of when you get a new heavy rune attack, you know, rune or whatever to put in it. It gives you a little sort of animation of what it does, which I thought was kind of cool. And it's like, this is what this one does.
Well, showing you a video of what the upgrade does is probably one of the best features in any video game, because it's so useful to see that. I think Infamous did that.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I love a little video preview of the upgrade. But yeah, it's a great game. I really, really like it. I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to play more of it.
Yeah, I have one minor criticism that I haven't mentioned actually. Is I never know whether it's reticule or rectical. I can never remember which one it is. Reticle. It's
testicle.
I sometimes lose it on the screen. You know, when you're trying to, especially when you're doing, you know, the chess where you have to hit the bells one after the other in a short space of time.
Yes.
And sometimes I just can't see it. I'm like, where's it gone?
Right.
And it almost, especially when you look sort of up at the sky, it just blends in. You can barely see the thing. And that's probably the only real criticism I have of the game.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit small. I'm just like, I can't see it. Where is it? Where's it gone? So sometimes I have to do those about 3 times before I get it, because I have to sort of work out where the hell it is in the space, and I can't see it. But maybe it's just my old eyes.
Maybe. I've just got to the part where it goes, your boy has more confidence. And I'm like, cool. And then basically he jumps on people's backs now, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He does his own. He starts doing his own thing.
Does his own thing. It's really good. It's a really fucking good game.
Well, like I said, one of my favourite things about this compared to older God of War games is just the supporting cast, that it's got one and they're actually relevant and they're pretty well acted. And
the shop owners, the brothers, is it?
Yeah,
are fantastic. You know, really, really good, really funny and interesting. Yeah.
And even Kratos himself just feels like a real character now, rather than some.
I don't know. He doesn't seem that different. Like, he does this a lot, which is on the screen now, where he goes to tap your lad, then he goes, "I'm not doing that. It's fucking weird." You know, it feels like all the world around him is different, whereas Kratos is just this moody twat, as he's always.
No, he
just,
still is.
He doesn't seem as angry anymore.
No, he doesn't say it, but he's more. He feels a bit more humanized somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't find him that different to how he was in the other games. He's a little bit less angry, a little bit more grown up. But yeah, he's just everybody around him. He's like, "You're a fucking idiot. Why don't you teach me?" It's good. This game is great.
And graphically,
fantastic. I'm playing on a 4K TV.
Oh yeah, with the Pro,
the Pro, yeah. I'd selected performance though.
Oh yeah, so you've gone the 60 frames a second and the downgrade.
And it still dropped at one
visually.
Point. It still dropped. Not in a combat situation. It dropped when I was in the big open area where the serpent was. It dropped when I.
Okay.
Which is strange. I thought.
You see, I went the other way. I went visual and 30 frames.
Of course
so
you
that's
did.
why I've gone.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, of course I did, because I wanted it to look as cool as possible. Which it does. It looks incredibly cool.
Looks just as good for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very pleased that you're playing that. Anyway, we should go to Duke and see what else he's been playing.
Yeah.
Or what he has been playing.
I'm playing Skyrim. Oh yeah.
Oh,
God. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I got the mod installed where you instead of just absorbing a dragon soul normally, it lifts you in the air and there's this music and run and it explodes in a healing ray. I haven't used it yet though because I haven't fought any but anyway, I don't really have much to say about that. You know what you call it. I haven't killed any dragons since I installed it, so I don't know. But I've also been playing some Rocket League every day. And yeah, I've had some good games. There's not much to say about it, I suppose. The game that I will talk about, okay, so there was first of all, I just keep getting games. It's getting out of hand. In the last week, I bought 2 games. The one I'm about to talk about is like a retail, like a, AAA retail game, or it was. And then I've spent like $2 aside from that, but I've gotten 5 games in the past week. I can't possibly play them all in time to talk about them on the show. So they just sit in my inventory and it's like, oh, I got to play that and talk about it. I got to play that and talk about it.
Did you buy them? Did you buy them?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one of them was, like $2. One of them was the Kingdom is the one that I bought, and I talked about that last week. And then there was a free weekend for Stories, The Path of Destinies. But not just play it for free, you get to keep it forever for free. It's a $20 game, but it was just
Stories is a really good game. I played that.
Well, I'll be the judge of that, but it was free, and I'm just like, free, all these free things, and cheap things, and people giving me things, and just like, I don't have time for all this. And The Forest came out of beta recently, so I'm like, I ought to try to see what that's like now. So I have too many games. That's my point. And especially too many games for somebody who comes home after school and like, I don't feel like dealing with anything new. I'll play Rocket League. So anyway, Humble Store had a sale on No Man's Sky. So I bought that. Now, I had played this when it first came out because I was game sharing with Hardly Dan, and he has everything. So I was able to play it for like 12 hours when it first came out, and I enjoyed it. And I thought, they've made a lot of changes to it since it came out. Let's go back in and have a look, shall we? So I went back in and had a look. And it's pretty much the same.
So what's because they've changed supposedly loads of stuff. So did you not notice any of this?
Well, here's the thing. They have a survival mode. And I played it, and it started me on this planet that was fucking freezing, like -100 below, like literally centigrade. And so I had like 5 minutes to repair my ship. But here's the thing. You don't start off anywhere near your ship. So I looked at my ship icon, and it said, will arrive, and I'm sprinting toward it. You will arrive in 13 minutes. I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to make it. So apparently you're supposed to go hide in a cave and like get resources to replenish your life supply and then venture out of the cave and run toward your ship more and then hide in another cave, etc., etc. And I tried, and I didn't make it. I was like, all right, well, I'll try again, and presumably it'll spawn me on a better planet. Nope, it spawned me on another death ice planet.
So do you think every time you play survival mode, that's what it does?
Freeze, bitch. So I looked it up after this. I did this 3 times. I looked, and they were all ice planets. I looked it up, and apparently the review that I found said you're always going to start off in some horribly inhospitable planet. Like maybe it's too cold, maybe it's too hot, maybe it's toxic, maybe it's filled with predators. It's just designed to be very, very, very.
Or maybe the clues in the survival mode name or title.
Minecraft has a survival mode. It's a lot of fun, and it's not impossible to survive.
Yeah, but this is real survival.
This is real survival.
Not cartoon Minecraft survival.
They ought to call it hardcore. There is a permadeath survival mode, which, I mean, I guess when I died in the other one, I got to come back to life. Whatever. Anyway, the point is, it's all ridiculous. So I went back to normal mode, which is much easier to survive. You start off right near your ship, and I went through the paces as with before, and it takes a while. I forgot about this, but it was true the first time I went through as well. The systems in this game are not totally intuitive, so you're constantly getting different carbon, nickel, plutonium, this and that, and for your life support you have to combine carbon and plutonium or whatever into energy cells, and and there's all this like different steps where it could just be put the plutonium into your exosuit. Nope, it's got to be making different things and whatever. So once you get into the habit of doing that, okay, you're fine. But if you land without enough plutonium on board, you're not going to take off again. You have to run around and find some plutonium, and then you'll be able to take off again, because you have launch thrusters, which are different from your phase thrusters, which are different from your super warp, which is different from your warping between galaxies. And it's just like, all these different systems. And I mean, whatever, it's not a huge deal, and it's not terribly complicated. It's just more complicated than I remembered.
But it isn't just another example of making something overcomplicated for the sake of it, to make you grind harder than you really need to.
No, that's survival mode, I think, but that's not the
all
mode.
right, okay.
Right? Whatever. So now there's building, but I haven't really gotten into the building, because most of the building that I did, like the only things they order you to build are, there's this like signal amplifier. So you can find, you need to find a whole lot of such and such a mineral. And so you set it up, and you say, what, show me what's around here. And it'll show you a bigger area of what's around, because you have a regular scanner, and it'll show you what's in your immediate vicinity. And then this other thing you build shows you a big swath of the planet. Here's what's around you. So yeah, there's that. And, there's base building. But here's the thing. Look, I haven't done any of the base building yet. I suppose I will eventually. But, as with Starbound, the question is, you have this whole universe at your disposal. You're supposed to be moving from one solar system to the next, galaxy to galaxy. Why build a base on one of those planets?
Yeah, true, because I'm not only that, but like you say, I mean, although there's a lot of sort of resources and stuff on the planet, but you're right. What's the point? Because are you ever going to go back to any of these places?
Right. The building thing, they need to find a way to allow you to build on your spaceship in some way, shape, or form. If you had, a big ship that you could build a little house in, or, like construct your ship in a way that makes it into like a home, then okay, we'd be in business. But as it is, the whole Minecraft in space thing, I don't really think it works, because as you say, yeah, you're constantly moving around, and in Starbound you can make a planet your home, and plant a garden and all that, and to an extent it makes sense to do that, because that way you can always come back and find food, and you can get cloth for
I'm can I just say, I'm watching this bit, I don't remember any of this in the original game, where you're talking to this dude and getting missions off him and things like that. Well, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, there's missions, but I mean, why? Who cares? Like, the missions, first of all, there are combat missions. The combat in this game has always been mediocre at best. Like, I got targeted by some pirates, and there was nothing I could do. I had no lock on weapons. I had no maneuverability because I was in my, crappy starter outer ship. Now, maybe if I got a better ship, okay. I think I've switched up 3 times since then, and my combat still isn't very good because I'm not focusing on combat because I don't think the game is built. It's not a combat game in general, right?
It feels more like an exploration game.
It is an exploration game. That's why it keeps coming up. Hey, you've traded this much money. You've learned these many words, and that's the part that's great. So now when it's pirates, I'm just like, let me go back into the space station, buy some more stuff, and hope they go away. So, I mean, the base building stuff, I may give it a shot. The survival thing, no thank you. The missions, whatever.
Can I just ask, when you built bases, do they act as fast travel locations? Can you travel back to them?
Right, there is that. So there's this thing in one of the space stations that I found that said, like, teleport portal or something. And I was like, what? And it said, when you build a base, you can teleport to it from here. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting because then, I can make a home and whatever. So how about this? For next week, I'm going to put my mind to making a base in No Man's Sky. I'm going to find a great planet and I'm going to set up a home there and I'm going to figure out how it works, damn it. And I'm going to have something to say about it next week. You're welcome.
So let me ask you this, right? As we know, No Man's Sky is totally procedurally generated.
Yes, it is.
So no 2 places are supposedly the same in anybody's game, and everybody's planets are different to everybody else's planets and all that bollocks, right? Yeah. If you were going to get the perfect planet to build your base / home, what type of planet would you want?
Well, I'd want one with a lot of... First of all, it should have some gold, because I forgot how nice it is when you find a gold reservoir. Because I found one recently, and I was kind of struggling for money for a little while. And then I found this huge bulbous gold thing. You know how it is. And they're basic. They look like towers. And I just sat there like harvesting the gold until I had no inventory in my ship and on my exosuit. And I was like, I've got all the gold in the world now. Literally all the gold in the world.
And then you couldn't take off because your ship was so heavy.
No, it was fun. I went and sold it. And I'm like, now I'm rolling in the dough. What? Now we're talking. So finding that is very handy. And I wish there was some way to be like, hey, does that planet have any gold? Because I don't want to spend my time roaming around hoping to find some gold. But anyway, it should have some gold, plenty of plutonium, and it should look nice. Because a lot of planets are like barren, overheated. And that's the other thing. I don't remember this last time, but I keep finding these like crashed freighters, because it's all about, it's trying to show you, lead you on the path of the Atlas and whatever. I don't know if they changed it so when you get to the actual center of the universe, something actually happens now. But, there still is that thing of we're trying to direct you in a certain way rather than just have you wander around forever. Although I'm thinking I might just want to spend some time wandering around forever.
Well, that's how you play Skyrim. Why would No Man's Sky be any different?
Except in Skyrim, there's stuff to do. And not just, there's the bounty missions when you go into a pub and go, I'm looking for work. And they go, oh, go kill the bandit leader in such and such a cave. That's basically what you just saw on the screen with the dude giving out missions is. I'm talking about, there's a story. You can go help the dude find his dog. And then it turns out his dog is actually serving this vampire thrall and whatever. So, Chinny, are you okay? It sounds like maybe you are dead.
I'm dying.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and die.
Just die already.
Die. Stay with us, but take care of yourself.
Yeah. Lovely.
The transmission cuts out there, sir.
I think we've got a new co-host called Gollum.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is that No Man's Sky, look, this is the weird thing. I feel like, the quest is called Alone in the Stars. Like there's so much empty space. It's so much, not really grinding, but just kind of like, oh yeah, I think I can find a slightly better ship. Oh, there's an abandoned building 3 planets that way. Like so much of it is just wandering around, oh, now I need to find nickel or whatever it is. And then, oh, this asteroid has a little bit of plutonium in it, whatever. It's little bits and pieces here and there. And it kind of traipses along. And I'm like, I'm in the last hour, I haven't really done much, but I just keep playing it. So I don't really understand why. I mean, am I having fun? Yes, kind of, but it's got
time sink. That's what it is, a time sink game.
It is, and it has a weird appeal for me. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I do enjoy playing it. It's just when I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, why? Why do I enjoy playing? I don't really know. So
it's your kind of thing, though, isn't it? Just wandering aimlessly doing stuff.
It is my kind of thing, I suppose. And the building hopefully will make it even more my kind of thing. So we'll see. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'm glad I got it. It was cheap. It was like $20, so it was worth it.
Yeah, and you know, even if you just get another 20 or 30 hours out of it, you'll have got your money's worth, won't you?
Even 10. I'm cool.
Yeah, even 10. Ginny, back over to you. Anything else you've been playing? Or are you done?
No, hold on. Wait, what? Who are you? I got tissue stuffed up my nose right now, so...
That's funny.
If it sounds annoying, then you just have hay fever and see how annoying that is.
It sounds fine. You sound fine.
I sound a bit muffled, but we'll have to just live with that. No, I'll spit it out. Right, okay, so I've been addicted to another game. Addicted.
Yep.
Addicted to it. Talked about it before. It's a game called Golf Story.
Oh, yeah.
Story.
Oh my god, this game has completely got its hooks into me now.
Playing games that we don't really know why we're playing it so much.
I know, it's just, I mean, I checked it how
It's
long...
just pushing all the right buttons.
1 sec, hold on. I checked at how long I'd played this game on my Switch, and it was 10.5 hours.
Pretty good.
I've been putting into it, and I'm like, I didn't think this game would be that long, but it is. And yeah, so where I'm at now is like, you go to this like really posh golf club, and it's all like, it's run by like old-fashioned, sort of pompous do-gooders, and they're all like, you can't be a member here unless you have a caddy, and you have to have like vintage clubs and stuff like that. So then you have to find vintage clubs, and then you have to like...
It all sounds a bit pretentious to me.
It is funny, but then you go, then one of the clubs is buried at this other course called like Oak Manor, which is on the screen now. And Oak Manor is all fucked up and scary and shit, and it's like a Halloween themed course. And you get there and there's a ghost there, and he's all like, I'm dead, but I want you to play the 9-hole in my honor because I never got a chance to play it, and all this sort of stuff. And then you fight a wizard.
Okay.
Then
yeah, of course you do in a golf game. That's
you
what
fight
we
a
all do
wizard
when we play golf.
Just wanted to leave that one hanging. You fight a wizard. You have to find eyes and whack them into skeletons' faces. This game constantly throws shit at you. It's so much fun. This game has gone from something quite fun to play to, oh my god, I cannot stop playing this game. It is fantastic. I love it so much. And the fact that it's on the Switch is even better because I can just play it in bed. I love it. I love the Golf Story. It's so good.
Yeah, I think when I eventually get my
you're going to
Switch,
love this, Stu.
I'm going to get this. This will be probably one of my, apart from Bayonetta 3, of course, which is the reason I'll be buying a Switch.
Yeah.
You know, this will probably be one of the first games I'll buy.
It just constantly keeps throwing weird shit at you. Like, this course here is a par 1 course, which is weird. So you have to get every shot.
Well, everything has to be a hole in one.
Yeah, but you can see the size of the holes. They're huge, so they're big, massive holes. I have got a hole in one. I got a hole in one today. It's the first ever one I got in the game. You do eventually. The story does eventually, like, you have to play a game. You know what I mean? Last week I was talking about Max Yards, who was the sort of celebrity guy, and I beat him, and he's all like, "Fuck this! It's the course." He always blames the course, and that was quite a tough game. And then you have to play you've got a contract with this guy, and he's a dick, and you have to play him, and he's so fucking lucky. Like he keeps like hitting it off the tree, and it bounces by the hole, and he's like, played it that way. You know, lots of weird, funny things like that.
Yeah, he like trolls you and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, whoops, and then he'll just hit something, and he'll just.
You know,
get lucky.
weirdly, I was gonna say, does he hit the tree and it goes in the hole and stuff?
Does
And
it
that's
go-
what
like
you
it-
said before I asked.
Yeah, he'll do that, or like there's on one that you play that on a course where there's loads of birds, and if you hit it in an area, a bird will take it really far, or really different coloured birds pick the ball up and do different things. So a red bird will put it in a bush, or a brown bird will actually move it forward on the course. It's very strange. The game's weird. The game is weird but fun. I really, really like it, and it's just, you know, you come across these goths. And they're all like, hey, you know, we're going to run this course now. We need some minions. And they're all like, all right. And then you got to, like, find some minions. The game's just going different places that you just don't expect it to go. Every course, you're just like, what's it going to do now? You know, I feel like I'm over the halfway point. I think there's about two courses that I haven't gone to. So there's, like, an open world as well. You know, like in Mario World, there's, like, a world map. And there's a snowy course and there's a pro course, and I'm not allowed on the pro course because I'm not a pro. But I'm getting there. So the whole game is
because you're an amateur.
The goal of the game is to become a pro. That's your aim. And oh yeah, your wife turns up, and your wife's trying to put you off and stuff. And there's these two commentators that are not commentating on the game. They're commentating on the burns that your wife keeps giving you. And he goes, that's a pretty good burn there. I agree. You know, it's just mad shit. It's so funny. It's just so funny. I love it. If you're hesitating on the golf story, just fucking get it. It's great. It's so much fun. I love it.
You know, I can sort of... Sorry, go on, Duke.
Hurry up and get it, you idiots.
Oh, I was going to say, I can totally see, you know, when I don't know whether Nintendo commissioned them to do this or whether they went to Nintendo and said, look, we've got this game and I think it should be a launch title on the Switch because it's perfect. But I can't imagine it was a difficult sell to Nintendo.
No, it's a great game.
Do you know what I mean? Because they like this sort of stuff, don't they? If it's a bit unique and a bit quirky, it's right up Nintendo Street.
It's all just very, it's just a very fun little golf game. It's like nothing else I've played. You know, I wasn't really considering this to be my top 5 games of the year, but I think it might get up there. It's very good. It's not going to be my game of the year because Red Dead's coming out, but you know, it's up there. It's a phenomenal game. I love it.
Yeah, it does look good. Like I say, I will definitely be picking this up when I finally get around to getting.
The thing is, like, it's this week that I've absolutely been addicted to it. I have to say, like, the first, you know, few hours of it, I was like, yeah, this is all right, but then it keeps going like in really weird directions, and it's just so funny, and I feel like only now really I've become addicted to it. So it's took me a while to sort of appreciate how good it is. So if you play it and you think, well, this is all right, but it takes a while to pick up, but it's very funny.
Yeah, it does look pretty
Golf
good.
Story.
Golf Story, right, back to
Available
me.
at game retailers everywhere.
Back to me. I did manage to play a little bit more of the Good Life demo. I played a little bit last week, so I didn't feel I played enough to talk about it. So I have played a little bit more this week.
Oh yeah.
I have backed this game on Kickstarter, so I will be getting it because I backed it with the $17 required to get a copy of the game when it releases. And I also get my name in the credits, which I thought was kind of cool. You know what I mean? So that's always cool, isn't it? If your name's in the credits. As a backer, so we'll have a backer's credits at the end of the game, which is kind of cool. It doesn't, in the demo, it doesn't sort of show you the main mechanic of the game, which will be its biggest, well, no, its biggest selling point, but one of the selling points of the game, which is at nighttime you turn into a cat. So you're a lady during the day. And the main mechanic when you're the lady is that you have a camera and you solve the puzzles in the game by using your camera.
Okay.
Now, there are some things you can't do when you initially get your camera because you've got a bit of a cheap, crappy camera. And the upgrading system, from what I can gather in this game, is by acquiring new lenses and such like for said camera. So it enables you to take more interesting and different types of camera shots. It's a very odd game. Like the two missions that I've done in the demo is, one is this guy lost his truck in a game of cards. So he gambled his truck away and then he's pining for his truck because, you know, he's lost his truck. And the guy who won the truck is just driving around the village in his truck, taunting him, you know, like driving past him all the time. So he tasks you with the mission of taking a picture of his truck so that he's got something to remember it by. It's a very odd mission. But because your camera's a bit crap and the truck's moving, what happens, Chinny, if there's a moving truck and your camera's not got a fast enough shutter speed?
It blurs.
It blurs. So what happens is every time you try and take a picture of said truck, it's a bit blurry, which doesn't pass the mission because he wants a nice picture of his shiny truck.
Is there a magic using woman in any of those shots?
Is there a what?
A magic using woman in any of those shots?
Not that I've seen.
Because I thought maybe you'd end up working on the Blur Witch Project.
God.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. Tip your
but you look like Chinny because her nose was all snotty and stuff. So what you have to do is you can pick stuff up. So what you do is you pick up a plant pot, put it in the middle of the road, truck stops, then obviously you can take a good shot of the truck and then you go back and you pass the mission and he gives you some money, I think, when you pass it.
Seems like a problem or a solution in search of a problem.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I mean, the other mission in it, which is the one that's on screen now, you talk to this woman who turns out to be the vicar's wife, but he's a bit of a drunken old sot, so but he does it in secret. You see, so he sort of pretends he's sober all the time, but most of the time he's actually just getting pissed. All right. So what you do, you find this guy he's sat in the pub, but he has a pint of beer, but he hides it when he's being observed. So you've got to try and get a picture of him drinking the beer. Right? It's so funny, honestly. So you've got to go and get a picture of this guy drinking beer in the pub. But every time you look at him, he hides the beer glass under the table. So you can't
take
see
a picture of the mirror and you catch him in the mirror.
No, similar though. Similar. So what you can do, you can see him from the window outside the pub. So what you do is obviously go outside. When he gets his beer back out and starts drinking, then you take your picture of him.
Okay.
So they all revolve around how do you sort of take these particular pictures at the moment. And that's, you know, he released this demo just to try and push the Kickstarter enough to get the funding that he needed. And he hit his target, which I'm kind of pleased about. It is sweary, so it is going to be a bit weird. And probably going to be up my street, I imagine, when it releases next year sometime. So,
you don't say.
I know.
It's exactly up your street.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it was really funny, right? Because obviously this is him playing the demo, so he's like going through it and telling you what you can do and what you can't do and what the concepts were, and he's like,
you can't not take a picture of things.
Yeah, and his perception of British villages is very funny. You know, when he's sort of talking and he's saying, "Oh yeah," and you can see everybody's in the pub. Because they're in the UK, and in the UK everybody goes to the pub. so he's like, you know, which is kind of true in some places.
Well, where's he from?
Japan. He's Japanese, isn't he, sweary? What does the matter with you? It's a man who made.
No, I don't know these people.
It's the dude who made Deadly Premonition.
Okay, I don't know what country the dude who made Deadly Premonition is from.
So you can see the guy here, you know, sneaking his drink, and if you look, you can see him holding his glass under the table out of sight.
Why can't you take a picture of him holding his glass under the table?
Yeah, because that's not good. If you got to catch him drinking from it, that's what.
Thing.
Yeah. So
anyway,
I think it's a good proof.
Looking forward to it. I'm glad it's satisfying you in terms of its progress.
Yeah, it's a good proof of concept, and one of his stretch goals. And I don't know whether he hit it or has hit it, was to do a Switch version. So if he hits a certain amount of funding, he'll do a Switch version.
Ooh, then you'll get to play it.
You will. You will. And that's it on the good life. Back over to you, Duke. I guess.
Nope, I'm done.
You're done. Anything else from you, Chinny?
Done.
Right, well, in that case, there's only one other thing. Whoa.
Ah, Christ.
There is another thing I want to talk about because this week I got my code for the NVIDIA thing, GeForce Now Beta.
What is that? What are you talking
Beta. So basically, does anyone remember OnLive?
Yes.
Do you remember this concept where you
for games?
Yeah, where you streamed games. You didn't have to have a fancy fandangled PC malarkey. You just streamed them from the web, and away you went. You just played the game straight from the internet. Well, this is kind of the next iteration of this, I guess. What? And it's been done by NVIDIA, and basically it's called GeForce Now. So this uses 1080p, 1080 graphics cards, should I say, GTX 1080 graphics card machines, and it's kind of remote servers. But the difference between these and previous iterations, like PlayStation Now and all that malarkey, is you can use anything not anything, only ones that are supported, but you can use your own Steam library rather than having to purchase games direct from them. So basically what you're renting, when you pay your monthly subscription, is you're renting the graphics capabilities rather than the games. Does that kind of make sense? So if you've got, say, a really shitty old PC, right, that's got a laptop with a crappy old graphics card in that can't really run anything good. If you've got GeForce Now, you can log into GeForce Now. It comes up with your, you link your Steam account. Your Steam account comes up within it. Any games that are supported, you click on it, install. It takes literally like between 10 seconds and a couple of minutes to install your game, because obviously they've already got it on their end. So they'll have access to every game, presumably that's supported on Steam. And it takes it literally no time at all to install, and then you can just start playing, and up to ultra settings, 60 frames a second, 1080p. Jobs are good 'un. So that's kind of how it works. So it's kind of it'd be good for people who don't have access to a decent gaming PC, and it works. I had a couple little stutters. I was playing Nier Automata. So I played a little bit of Nier just to see how it went, and I pulled on some games that are kind of more graphically intensive. So I played a bit of Nier, I played some Tomb Raider. So I thought I'll try a bit of Tomb Raider, and it was pretty good. It was pretty smooth. There wasn't really any issues. They recommend having a 25 meg download though to get the best out of it. So you've got to have pretty shit hot internet connection for it, and ideally wired in. So ideally wired to sort of get the best out of it. But it works. It's an interesting concept. The only thing that seems to be a little bit grey, should I say, in area is how much it's going to cost. Because what's been bandied about is that you could pay like $20 for so many hours access or something weird. But at the moment, they've not really given any real sort of pricing structure or anything. But I have got a spare key, but I'm not sure I can pass this on to somebody or not, because I applied using 2 separate email accounts and I've had acceptance on both of them. So I'm not really. Pardon?
Are you sure they gave you 2 different keys, or is it?
Yeah, because they're 2 separate email accounts. So I set it up with 2 separate users, if you will. But obviously, I
find someone you like and say, "Here, give this a try."
Yeah. So someone with a shitty PC, give us an email. If you've got a crappy PC, right, and you struggle to run pretty much anything on there, and you've got some Steam games.
Or if you just want to give this a try, it doesn't, is this going to change the way you play games, Stu?
Well, it's not about changing the way you play games. It's just it's basically the way they sell it is, say, rather than having to keep upgrading your PC to the latest graphics card to play the latest games, you just pay your subscription, they upgrade their end, and you don't ever have to worry about it.
So I guess it's fair to say they're trying to get you to, change the way you play games.
Well, the games are the same. It's the way you access the games that's different.
The way you play them. Whatever. I don't even care. Good. So it's on offer. Write in, people. Maybe you can give this a try. Are we ready for news now?
Yeah, let's do some news.
Okay.
Putting news first.
Super sick news, since Chinny's all sick.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, can I just say before you start the news, Chinny, I have trademarked super quick news just in case any other podcast tries to steal our super quick news feature.
Well, okay. So, I can't even read online. retailers, Nolan North, Belgian, Destiny, Microsoft.
Do you need someone else to do the news this week?
I think so.
Okay.
But whoever does it, promise me this. Make it quick.
Right, go for it, Ju. You can do the news.
Okay, take that, students whose papers I'm supposed to be grading right now. All right, yeah, free Steam Link for Android OS or something. When Valve practically started giving away Steam Link boxes for a little more than price of postage, I assumed, go away, yes, I have ad blocker on, eat me. I assumed the company was stepping away from the concept of in-home streamed gaming. Today's announcement suggests the idea is very much alive and well at Valve. Soon you'll be able to play games from your Steam library through most iOS and Android devices via an official and free Steam Link app. How about that? So if you have an iOS or Android device, go on and check it out.
Yeah, because we all want to play games on a tiny little screen, don't we? Like that.
Big, you don't have an iPod Jumbo?
No, I have an Android. I have a 10-inch Android, I guess, but
10-inch.
Yeah, but unless you've bought one of these controllers for it, it's just going to be shit, isn't it? You'd have to have some sort of controller to play with it.
You know what, Stu? Steam reviews have a reputation for being whiny garbage, but they can still be really useful when the trash is filled out and some serious data extracted, which is exactly what a new in-depth study of the service has found. It's called An Empirical Study of Game Reviews on the Steam Platform. It was published by Dai Lin, Paul Bezemer, Ying Zhao, and Ahmed E. Hassan from Queen's University in Canada. They conducted with mobile app reviews in mind, but the data they've extracted is still pretty useful for anyone who's ever released a game on Steam. Looked at their reviews and thought, oh no. The team looked at every review left on 6,224 of the games available in early 2016, excluding only those with 25 reviews or less, so as to lessen the chances of bias messing with the results. Blah, 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 blah. What's the results? Oh, here we go. Negative reviews are slightly longer than positive reviews, but the difference is negligible. That's really important findings.
It is very important.
Who cares? Players write longer reviews for games for which they paid. Okay, that's great.
Okay, kind of makes sense.
Next news story. Nolan North is going to receive a special BAFTA award. Follow the link. What? Why did you link to a story that doesn't have a story? You numpty. Nolan North is going to receive the award on Monday, 11th of June in Los Angeles. Why in Los Angeles? Why don't they hold the BAFTA awards in I mean, right? Why isn't it in Britain?
Because he probably can't be asked traveling to Britain to get it.
Well, it's not that special of an award then. The award will be presented to Nolan in recognition of his outstanding contribution to performance in games. Previous game professionals to receive a BAFTA award include Brandon Beck and Mark Merrill on behalf of Riot Games, Brendo Romero, Amy Hennig, and Marcus Persson. I don't know any of Amy Hennig. I recognize the name, but I don't know who the
Amy Hennig is from Uncharted. She was the director and writer of that.
If you're involved in Uncharted, get ready for
or some sort of involvement.
Because they're just going to be going into it.
And then she was meant to do the new Star Wars game that got canned.
You get to just talk about news. I'm just going through them quickly.
All right, I'm only giving some extra info.
Nobody wants
you asked, I told you.
Sony announces showcase date and details. Its E3 showcase is going to focus on Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, and The Last of Us Part 2. So there you go. Get ready for that, people. When is E3? It's like the end of...
About June the 15th, it is around.
Because it always happens at the end of the school year. I always think, oh, I'll go someday.
Ooh,
nope.
That's just made me realise something. I think it's when we're on the stag do.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm going to have to talk about it all on my own. Here's a
oh my god.
This sucks. This is shit. Who cares? Don't believe the hype.
Let me have a look. I'm sure it is. Oh, it's all right. June the 12th. We're good.
Microsoft won up Sony and Nintendo by allowing game gifting on Xbox One. And that sound of 700 people falling asleep means we're done with the news.
Oh, brilliant. Right, we have got emails, so let's do the emails.
Whoa, that ruled.
There you go. Okay, here we go. I think we've done that one already. I'm just checking. I think we've done that one. Yeah, done that. Right, okie dokie. Yeah, he keeps on clumping everything together now just to be confusing for whatever reason. Right, here we go. First email is off Pilch Reed. Mr. Pilch in the read. I think he's listening live, but he's not really been chatting much. I think he's in the chat, but he's only chatting a bit. He's had a chat, but he's not chatting loads. He's just chatting. If you know what I mean. Anyway, this is what he has to say. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Ginny's not doing anything, so, just ignore him.
Hello.
Shut up. If you will indulge me for a moment, just a couple of comments on last week's show. After Stu has read an email in whatever the fuck accent he has chosen, please could someone read it again in a language we can understand, so we have an idea of what the correspondent was trying to convey. Well, that is kind of true, but to be honest with you, the American Patriot, he doesn't have a lot of useful stuff to say anyway, and that's how I imagine how he talks. That's what he sounds like in my head. So, just saying. Just saying. Number 2, Chinny really eating pizza with a knife and fork.
I know, right? Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, get a grip, lad. You're losing it. I'm with Pilch on this. Who the fuck eats it? Who do you think has some sort of hoity-toity
gentleman? Gentleman eat fucking pizza with a knife and fork.
Pizza eat with your fucking hands.
Fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, just because I'm civilized.
Civilized.
Piece of shit.
Ridiculous. Would you eat a marshmallow with a knife and fork? No.
You mean you don't?
No.
You mean you don't? You fucking animals.
We used to have this
fucking animals
called Winston's near us, right? They used to bring out the pizzas in a basket and you didn't even get a knife and fork. And if you asked for one, they used to look at you like you come from another planet.
I asked for a knife and fork in McDonald's.
You're just a weirdo. And finally, number 3. The chap who said he missed Pilchers and Cream podcast, it's never coming back. Get over it. If, however, you still want to hear me talking out of my anus regarding a subject I have no idea about, you can always check out the Boss Wave Gaming podcast with myself, Chris, and Rob. Anyway, love to you all. Laters, Pilch.
Love to you, Pilch.
Love to you, Pilch.
Yeah.
Okay, second email. This is weird, right? Because this arrived like this person knew Pilch was sending an email. It's very odd. Very odd. So, anyway.
Maybe they were in Pilch when they wrote his.
Yeah, maybe. This email will be shorter than Pilch. Oh, I get it. He means shorter in, like, Pilch's height. I see what he did there. Okay, maybe not that short. Here we go. Stu, watch Holy Hell. It is only 90 minutes of your time and on Netflix. Then watch Wild Wild Country. I can see Duke being a member of the Rajneesh in Wild Wild Country, but Holy Hell is right up your street, Stu. So don't miss this one. Who am I kidding? You were the star of this film. Chin, play The Invisible Hours. It is a great one to stream. At least look it up. Duke, since you are the best teacher ever...
Nope.
Did you get a free small drink? Do you know what that means?
Exactly. I know what you mean. Because I said the Teacher Appreciation Week is the 1 week of the year when society takes a break from the other 51 weeks when they constantly overload our classrooms and underpay education professionals. And then they say, we appreciate everything you do. And it usually comes in the form of advertising, which says, hey, come into our restaurant and enjoy a free small drink. And like the whole point is to get you in there to buy other stuff. It's not really appreciation. I mean, it kind of is because you could just go there and go, give me my free drink and then just leave. But nobody does that. And certainly not teachers. So it's all advertising hokum.
Yeah, you should definitely just do what you just said. That'd be funnier.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's not my nature. And they know it's not our nature. So it's an advertising campaign.
You know, you're just too generous.
Everything these companies do is for purposes of making money.
Of course it is. Or to good PR. Anything that's good PR as well.
And the other thing is, look, I love the administration where I work. I'm really lucky because I have an administration that supports us, and I think they're really awesome. But sometimes they kind of miss the mark when it comes to teacher appreciation gifts. Every year they get us stuff that's like, here's how much we appreciate you. And one year they got us a pen that lights up. And one year they got us a pencil cup. And one year they got us a water bottle, which was probably the most useful of all of them. After 10 years in the district, I got a really good travel coffee mug. So I like that. But anyway, this year they gave us a water bottle, like a metal water bottle. And I was like, all right, I don't really like metal water bottles, but whatever. But then a friend of mine goes, no, it's not what it is. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not what it is? She goes, look. And she unscrewed the bottom of it. And I'm like, what is this? She goes, it's for holding a bottle. It's a bottle cozy or something. I'm like,
a what?
What? Why would you want a metal bottle cozy?
Oh, is it meant to keep? Is it to keep your drink cool? Is that what it's for?
That's what the glass bottle is for.
I don't know. Yeah, but if you've got it out of the fridge and you stick it in your cozy, will it not just keep it at fridge temperature for a while? Is that not what it does?
That's what glass does.
Does it hang? Not in hot weather.
Well, how is a metal thing gonna do even anymore?
I don't know. Is it insulated inside, or is it just a piece of metal?
Metal and glass conduct at about the same rate. So I don't understand this thing. I don't like it. I immediately put it in my pile.
I do not like it.
To drop
Take
off.
it away.
So
I dropped it in the trash can on the way out of class.
I didn't throw it away, but I am going to donate it to Goodwill. So again, I love my administration. I like the fact that they tried, but it's not what I want. So anyway.
Anyway, yeah, we tease him a lot because we got him on the spot. Why can't they put that on Netflix, Duke? Anyway, before I let you get back.
Wait.
Whoa, what?
What? Put what on Netflix?
I don't know. You're drinking a small drink. Who knows?
Okay.
Anyway, before I let you get back to your Twizzler, I love Kingdom, but I guarantee if you keep
Snickers bar this time.
I love Kingdom, but I guarantee if you keep playing it, Duke, we have another heavy rain rant on our hands.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Oh, now I'm intrigued.
Well, I'm out. This whole cult thing is great. And seeing Stu prance around in holy hell on my big screen was about as weird as shit as it gets. I hope your audience watches it soon. Suck on that, Twizzler Duke. Just be sure to brush your teeth afterwards. Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. Next email this evening is off Amar Pavez. Amar. And he says this. Hey, vets.
Hey!
I sent an email last week, but I had a brain fart. I forgot to ask my question about ice cream when I told you chaps about my daughter liking Ben & Jerry's. And me being a Haagen-Dazs aficionado, my question was, what is your favourite ice cream?
There is a ice cream flavor. There's a hang on a second. I lived at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, okay? They have a student union called the Memorial Union, all right? And they make an ice cream there called Union Utopia. It's awesome. It's like caramel and chocolate in the mix with vanilla ice cream, and it's just blended very well, and it's really good. And yeah, I could really go for some right now.
There you go. So that's what that is. Mine is a weird thing that no one else, unless they live in Leyland where I live, will know about. But we have a dairy near us that makes its own ice cream called Robinson's. And they do the best vanilla ice cream I've ever tasted. And it doesn't taste like any other vanilla ice cream I've ever tasted.
What does it taste like?
I don't know. It just tastes. It's just really, really creamy. It's just weird. It's not like. It has a very distinctive flavor. It's very odd. It's not. It just doesn't taste like standard vanilla ice cream. I have no idea how they make it, but they make their own ice cream, and it's quite.
It's
quite soft, but it's almost
It's spunk.
it's spunk. They must put spunk in it. That's
Spunk.
what they do.
Spunk.
When in
It is,
doubt,
that's what it-
blame spunk.
That's what it tastes of. It tastes of spunk. But yeah, it's just a tastiest ice cream, and it's so if you live in the Leyland area, there's like a little dairy called Robin. It's not a dairy; it's an ice cream makers, but it's called Robinsons, and they have lots of little vans, obviously, that go around the local area, and they just make really good vanilla ice cream. It's just really tasty. It's a good vanilla ice cream. Chini, what's your favorite ice cream?
Vanilla.
There you go, job done.
That's
Is
how
that
you
it?
answer a question.
Done. Anyway, this is what he thought. And surely this makes a better video game food than pizza. No, it doesn't. Ice cream is not a good video game food.
Sure it is.
Because no, it's not. It's not.
Yes,
and
it
I'll tell you for why. Why. Because you might be sat there, right, with your ice cream, and then you're concentrating on the screen and you're not really watching what's happening. Then the ice cream starts to melt and dribble all down your hands. And the next thing you know, it's all over the controller. And if you're PC game, it's all over the keyboard, and the mouse is all sticky.
Which they might
And
not
your
have it
hands
in a
all
dish, you idiot.
sticky.
Eat it in a dish. Eat it in a dish. Eat it in a
Ugh.
dish.
Not if it's a cone.
No,
You
that's what I
actually
said. You're
know.
assuming there's a cone involved. It doesn't have to be a cone. There's lots of ways to eat ice cream, you moron.
I guess, but
Eat it in a dish. And
the other
then,
thing is,
if it
the
does
other thing
melt, you can just drink it with a
Oh,
straw.
well, then you're missing the other thing that could happen. If you put it in a bowl, right, then you get engrossed in the game, the ice cream melts, and it's just a runny mess, right?
And you can
Pizza,
drink it.
no, yeah, well, then it's not ice cream anymore.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
It's ice
No,
cream soup.
It's just cream. It's just
That's
cream, man.
the
There's
best
no
way to have
involved.
ice cream is when it's melted, so there's a little bit of soup, a little bit of the, solid, and you just mix it together, and you got a little broth, and you got a little ice cream solid. It's great.
Yeah, you see, pizza, you can eat it hot or cold, and it tastes just as good. It's fine.
First of all, you're talking about your hands getting all sticky. You eat pizza, your hands are all greasy.
Yeah, that's all right. A bit of grease doesn't do any harm.
Of course it does harm. Your hands slip off the keys or off the thumbsticks. Are you an idiot or what?
Nah, you just get some wet ones at the side. You're sorted.
You're a dingus.
That's what I say. Anyway, he does carry on. Chinny. Oh no, sorry, he did guess what we'd have. So he thinks Duke has access to some funky, awesome flavors in the US of A. All we get here is bloody salted caramel. Seriously, this shit has to stop. It's not enough. The world has an addiction to sugar. Now let's screw the people by adding salt. I get what he did. He's saying because obviously we get salted caramel ice cream.
Oh, I see.
And he's like, why would you add salt
I don't care. No, I get it.
to something sweet? Chinny, you like crisps or chips, as our American chums across the pond call them. What's yours and Stu's and Duke's favourite chips stroke crisps?
Beef and onion.
Beef and onion, yeah. I see what you did there.
I like a good tortilla chip if we got some cheese sauce going on, because then again, you have a solid, you have a liquid. I think it's becoming clear that my favorite foods are those which mix solids and liquids.
Yeah.
So you'll be when you're old and decrepit, and you have to suck your food through a straw, you'll be fine.
I'm already old and
Your
decrepit.
favourite meal is a pizza floating in a bowl of water.
Yes, it
Sounds.
would be.
I want some pizza water right now. It's hot ham water. Somebody tell me you just got that Arrested Development joke. Anyway, but my favorite. But here's the thing. All things being equal, I do like a Cool Ranch Dorito. That's a good, reliable chip because you can't always count on having cheese sauce for your tortilla chips. So I do like a good Cool Ranch Dorito. And they don't need to be messing with all these new flavors of Doritos. Have you tried this stuff? Keep it simple. Doritos.
I mean, we might get different stuff in the UK. Well, what are you talking about exactly?
They had one that was like super spicy, and I bought it, and I was like, ugh, these aren't flavorful. They're just hot. And it's like the Cheetos of Flamin' Hots. All my students are like, Flamin' Hots. My favorite food is Flamin' Hots. I'm like, what? The Cheeto? And I tried them, and I'm like, they don't taste like anything. They're just very spicy. And it's like, that's not how spice works. It's supposed to be spicy and tasty.
Yes, it is.
Today, man, they don't know nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, my favorite is I like a good Seabrook salt and vinegar. You can't beat a Seabrook's crinkle cut.
Duchess gets those.
Oh, I like salt and vinegar.
Gross.
Tasty. And it has to be enough salt and vinegar that it makes your tongue feel like it's burning. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, up here in Glasgow, among Asians, we like to butter a fresh morning roll. What the hell is that? Fresh morning roll?
How do you spell it? I'll look it up.
I think he just means a morning roll.
How do you spell it?
Morninf. Morning
I have a
roll.
feeling that's supposed to be more.
I think that's a typo. I think he might have said morning roll. Where's F? Oh yeah, it's a typo. He should have typed a G. Morning roll.
How about this? Spellchecker.net. What's the correct spelling for morning?
Morning.
Correct spellings for morning. Meaning, moaning, manning.
No morning. How weird.
Is on there at the bottom.
Anyway, I guess what he's saying is
some more suggestions from spellchecker.net.
He likes to butter a fresh bap.
Yes.
And pile on some salt and vinegar or cheese and onion crisp for a
crack. Again with the salt and vinegar. What is wrong with you people?
I like salt and vinegar crisp in the UK. What's the matter with you? Cracking sandwich. Do you know?
I don't.
There is
shit.
There is nothing better than a ham sandwich with
you put
some
the
crisps
in the
on.
sandwich. Oh no, you're fucking awful. You should die.
Tasty.
It's a horrible, horrible thing.
Fucking just because you eat your pizza with a knife and fork, you fucking weirdo.
Listen. I'm a fucking gentleman.
No, the two things are not related. You can be smart when it comes to crisps and stupid when it comes to pizza, and that's what Chinny is apparently.
If the pizza's already sliced, then I'll grab it with my hand, sure. But if it's like
sure. I rub it with my hand.
Where are you getting pizzas? It's not cut into slices.
You get like at these posh like pub grub places now. Like for some reason, if a pizza isn't round, if it's like oddly shaped, that means it's higher quality. Because
why is it oddly shaped?
You're just going to the wrong pizza place.
No, you go to these like these pub grubs. Like there's a place by me, and it's like. You know, it's still round, but it's like it's off center. It's not perfect circle. And it's like, oh, it was made by some bloke back there, and just because it's not perfectly round, just because the pizza's not perfectly round, it makes it look more expensive and authentic. And they don't come sliced.
It sounds like you're going
to this, Kenny. Let me ask you this. We went to a very nice pizzeria called Mezzaluna when we went to the meetup.
Yes.
And how did that one come? When it
came round. I'm not saying like...
It was not only was it round, but it was cut into wedges, ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it should be. You don't go to these...
Did I eat that with a knife or fork? I can't remember now.
Yeah, you probably did. Because you're a weirdo. Anyway, moving on. I should talk about gaming, right? I am Joe hyped for Red Dead.
Presumably supposed to be so hyped?
Yeah, so I don't know. It's J.O.
Check your emails, people. We don't have time to be figuring out what you mean. Spellcheck.net is not a free service.
Man, that game is going to be sick. I also remember fondly playing on the 360 with Duke and a few other vets. Best fun ever.
It was a lot of fun. I agree.
Do you think they'll implement an online? Do you think they'll implement an online world like GTA 5? Of course they're going to do that, because why wouldn't they? They've made fucking hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars with that, so they're going to go, nah, we'll not have any cash on Red Dead 2. We'll not bother with that shit, because we have got so much money. Why bother making any more? Of course they're doing that. Man, my head is exploding at that thought. Anyways, that's me finished. PUBG 5! PUBG! So there you go. So thank you, Amar. It's nice to hear from you again. Anyway, next email is off Lewis.
God damn, what emails we have?
Loads. Hello, veterans.
Hello.
Hello. I hope that once again you've had a good week. Yeah, we always had a good week. We have a good week.
I showed primer to my students.
Oh God, did you bend all the brains and they're all sat there bleeding out of their ears?
Mm-hmm.
They were like, I don't know what's happened to me. My head's all fucked in. Anyway, I've been playing more on the Switch recently and gave Zelda Breath of the Wild another try. When I played it the first time, I didn't really enjoy it very much. But on the second run, I'm very much enjoying myself. Also, I'm on something I'm calling the Coin Quest. in Mario Odyssey, where I'm going to try and collect every purple coin in every stage of the game. So far, I've done 2 full stages but got distracted with Zelda, and haven't done any more. But I tried something else this week. One of my friends is obsessed with Skyrim and has over 2,000 hours on the PC version. He demanded during a discussion that I give it another try, and I have to say that, like Zelda, I'm really enjoying it. I'm not just doing the main quest, I'm exploring and having a proper adventure, which is a way I like playing these kinds of games. I have got a recommendation. I'd like to recommend Human Fall Flat, which was very funny when playing with one of my friends. Give it a try and you may be surprised. Due to the Bank Holiday Monday, I got to listen to your show live, which doesn't happen often. It was a great fun chatting with people in the Twitch chat. Even Chinny's brother was fun. Now, I've got to ask something.
Even like you're surprised, like hey.
I know. I was going to say I'm going to ask something at this point. Is why did you expect him not to be fun?
Even Ginger Balls managed to be.
Even
fun.
Ginger Balls was quite funny.
Yeah.
And finally,
expecting that shit.
Yeah, and finally, this is my big question for the week. What's your favorite handheld console ever, and what was the best game on it?
Well, mine, I haven't played very many, so mine's the iOS. This phone I have in front of me, and the best game on it is Flow. God, I love that game. I'm on like a 30-day streak for the daily puzzles, man. I love that game.
Love that game. Ginny, best handheld console ever.
I don't really like handheld gaming very much because I find it difficult to get into. But I have to say the Switch. I think the Switch is my favourite console. I probably had the most time on probably the original Game Boy. I played a lot of the original Game Boy back in the day. A lot of it. DS was good, but I think the original Game Boy. But I love the Switch. I absolutely love it.
There you go. I've got to say the original Game Boy, really, because, right, and this is the reason. Kay never buys me hardly ever anything gaming related, and she bought it for me for one of our wedding anniversaries. And I was like, oh my God, she's bought me something like gaming related, and it's cool. And it came, when you got the original Game Boy, it came with Tetris, didn't it? It had Tetris included. I played hours of Tetris on the Game Boy. I've still got it, by the way, and it still works. So I've still got the working Game Boy. And every now and again, I do fire it up and, play a bit of Tetris on it or whatever. And I have got Donkey Kong Land on it as well. Which was a limited edition yellow cartridge. Oh, lad. But yeah, it's cool. So I like the original Game Boy. So that would be my shout for that. Anyway, bit of a longer email this week, but it's back to normal next week. I'll make sure. That's all from me. So bye for now, Lewis.
Thanks, Lewis. Thanks for writing in.
Yeah, thanks, Lewis. And as always, we have got an email off the American Patriot, so I'll get the accent ready. Here we go. Hey, y'all!
Hey!
I was wondering how y'all doing, goddamn. Can you slow down a bit reading my emails? I mean, I can't understand you guys. What do you say? I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Okay.
My sons, Billy Joe and Patrick Star, were shooting each other on dirt bikes, but it turns out there weren't rubber bullets in those SMGs. They were live rounds. Oh, well, at least Billy Joe likes his new wooden arm better than his old ones anyways. Plus, I got some weird shit in the mail. Like stuff you wouldn't make out Savior Donald Trump turn his grave if he was dead. Anywho, I gotta go now, so I'll see you all later. Bye-byes!
Okay, well, thanks for writing in.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mr. Patriot. He seems like a nice chap, doesn't he? Very nice. Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice chap. And that's it for emails this week. So I guess we've got some speak pipes and then some shout outs and shit to do. So speak pipes next. Speak pipe! It's the way to leave a message for us.
And it's from Derek Sain.
I want to be famous. I want to be a man of status. I want wealth and acclaim. For the world to know my name.
Hello, gentlemen and gentlemen. It's Derek Sains again. And with a certain upcoming royal wedding in the news, I was thinking about being famous and the nature of fame. And I think it's fair to say that more and more people are trying to become famous or maybe infamous these days. And there's the old-fashioned routes of television, radio, newspapers, magazines. And, of course, there's the more up-to-date method of the internet and everything associated with that. And I think the most famous person I've ever met, other than Stu and Chinny, of course, is Elvis Costello. And that was quite a few years ago now. And so my question for you this week is about famous people. And it's simply this. Who do you think is the most famous person or group of people that you've met? And how did you react when you met them? Was it cool, calm, and collected? Or were you lost for words? Or was there some other reaction? And I think that's it for now. So I'll just say until next week, keep on game.
Okay.
There you go. So, most famous person you've ever met, Duke?
No, I'm going to go last. Go ahead.
All right. Chinny, obviously, we'll get you out
I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't met that many famous people. Jonathan Ross, I guess. I met him.
Oh, yeah, you met Wassy at not
EGX?
E3, but at Eurogamer, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm working with a famous person tomorrow.
Ooh, who's that?
But like no one, I don't really know him. It's a chap called Chris Kamara. So people who watch football will be like, oh yeah, Chris Kamara. He's sort of he's on he does football stuff. He does football things. So I'm working with him tomorrow, but I don't really know him that well. So I guess. Jeff Stelling is another person that I have to work with, and he's another football person. He's very well known. Yeah, Jonathan Ross.
Wassy.
Trying to think, really. We met Nolan North. He was very, very nice.
He was very nice. He was very chatty.
Yeah, very chatty person. Don't think there's anything else. I don't know. I can't think right now of anyone else famous that I've met. Jonathan Ross is probably.
We met Peter Molyneux, of course.
I never met him.
Oh, did you not? I did.
No.
He was very funny, actually. He was very like when he did his message for Duke. He was like, "Oh well, yes, I guess I'm gonna do this."
I saw him at that same EGX, and he was just sort of standing about, like waiting for someone. I think I saw him. I didn't go over to him. That's it, really. I don't really have anyone else.
No.
Stu, who'd you meet?
Probably one of the most famous people I've ever met was Neil Primrose, who's the drummer from Travis.
Who?
He's one of the lesser musicians in the group Travis, but I was working in a place, I'll not name places, but I was working somewhere, and he came in to recuperate, shall we say, because he had a little accident on his holidays where he dived into a swimming pool, hit his head on the bottom and damaged his spine.
That's not funny.
Yeah, it's not funny. So he hurt himself and he came to recuperate. And whilst he was there, he made a little joke because he said, "Oh, where's the swimming pool then?" So there you go. He made a little joke. But you could
make jokes in such a horrible situation. That's cool.
That's cool.
Was he depressed? Did you say, "Why does it always rain on me"?
He did. He went, "Why does it always rain on me?" No, you know, to be fair, it was hard to understand the word he said.
Why?
Because he had the strongest Scottish accent of anyone I've ever met.
Yeah, they're very Scottish, aren't they, Travis?
Ruining the accident. I imagine that would affect.
Put it this way, it's a good job he wasn't the lead singer because I think.
Why does it always rain on me?
You wouldn't have been able to tell a word he was singing. He was
just sang.
You caught maybe 2 or 3 words out of every sentence that he said to you. He spoke really quickly and he had a really, really strong accent.
Travis was a band in the early noughties, Duke. They did okay. They were famous for a bit. They've gone away now.
They have. He was a nice chap, though. He was a very nice man.
Some people will try and lie to you and say, Travis is still around. Those people are known as crazy and delusional.
I met Newt Gingrich not willingly. We were returning to an office building after a meeting, and he was unlocking the door, and we were like, "Are you Newt Gingrich?" He's like, "Yes, I live here," and he shook everybody's hand. Now, for those of you who don't know, Newt Gingrich is a horrible conservative idiot politician. He's kind of like who's the Boris dude y'all got right now?
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson. Oh my God, he's kind of like that, a little smarter, a little less, you know.
No, it's not hard to be smarter than Boris Johnson.
I know. But still.
To be fair, Boris Johnson probably is very smart. I would imagine he's got degrees and all that bollocks coming out of his arse. But he's no common sense, and that's a slightly different thing.
So I can't really think of other famous people I've met. I mean, like I met Hari Kondabolu, the comedian, and Jen Kirkman, the comedian. Yeah, I mean.
I spoke to Ross Noble on the phone for like 5 minutes.
That's right. He said you don't sound Chinese.
You don't look Chinese. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Did you not meet anyone when you was? Oh, go on.
I met DMC, of course.
Oh yeah.
From Run DMC. That was pretty awesome. That was like life goal. That's been my Facebook picture ever since, and it probably will be forever. Because DMC's the man. He's DMC of the party. And speaking of hip hop, my favorite song these days about fame is from the Australian rapper named Mantra. I hope I have it queued up to the right spot.
Perhaps you guys better learn to keep it shut. But they want to come speak to us. Apparently the whole world want a piece of us. And it's cool, but don't be giving advice on how I'm living my life. You're missing a couple deep and drunk. I ain't in this for any other reason than rhyming. That's what the reason and rhyming.
Hang on, here comes the chorus.
Climb is I'm gonna try to reach the peak and then redefine it. Signing my name into the shelf so the legacy remains when I'm flaming in hell. It might be poverty, it might be wealth, but there ain't nobody to blame but myself.
I don't know what your name is, but I thought your show was blazing. Your flow and placement is so amazing, you're going places.
Well, thanks to your glowing statements. But what I gotta know today is if I'm one of these chosen saviors, how come nobody knows I'm famous?
I look forward.
How come nobody knows I'm famous?
I look forward to the copyright claim we get for that one.
Yeah, there'll be definitely one for that. The only other famous person I haven't actually met, but they walked past us when we were in New York on the holiday, which was kind of funny. My wife has got a bit of a thing for Jay Rayner. Now, Duke probably won't know who this guy is. You may know who he is. Do you know who Jay Rayner is?
No, I just said I will not know.
Oh, no. Chinny, do you know who Jay Rayner is?
I know who Jay Rayner is. Of course I do.
The food critic.
Of course I do. It's the British journalist, writer, broadcaster, food critic, and jazz musician Jay Rayner, born in 1966.
Give all of that information all at once.
I know, it's just unbelievable.
He went to the University of Leeds. Of course I know who he is. He was the youngest son of Desmond Rayner and Claire Rayner. He's Jewish background, brought up in Sudbury Hill of Harrow. And, he joined the Observer newspaper after graduating at the University of Leeds in 1988. Of course I know who he is. I have no idea who he is.
So,
how do you know all that stuff about him if you don't know who he is?
I don't know. You just find things out.
I guess so. Well done.
Well, anyway. So Kay has a bit of a thing for him. She's like, oh, she just loves him. I love Jay Rayner. I love him. Anyway, we were in New York on the holiday when it was Kay's 40th. And as we were walking near Times Square, actually, we were just sort of coming out of the edge of Times Square. And
no one disbelieved you when you said near Times Square, actually. It's like no one went, the fuck off Times Square. In New York.
In New York. And he walked past us and Kay's like, that was Jay Rayner. I'm like, was he? And she's like, yeah, it was definitely him. And I thought for 1 second she was going to run down the road after him and go, can I have your autograph? But she didn't. She refrained. So we didn't quite meet him, but he did walk past
That was a one chance.
I know. And she missed it. She was too embarrassed. I'm like, well, just go and ask him. Just go and say hello or whatever.
Oh, I'm being silly. Of course. I met Graham Linehan and Chris O'Dowd and Richard Adedoje.
Well, I was just about to mention, although, I was just thinking you was an extra, weren't you?
I was an extra, the IT crowd. The only person I didn't really speak to, I kind of had an awkward moment with her when we both walked through the door at the same time and I let her pass. But I didn't speak to, I forgot the actress's name, Jen. I didn't speak to her, but I spoke to Richard Adedoje and Chris O'Dowd.
Let me ask you about Richard. Is he really like that in real life?
No, he's cool as fuck.
Was he? What's he like though? Did he just talk normally?
He's just a nice guy, yeah. It's just normal. He just seems like a very smart, chilled dude. But yeah, there was a conversation about the movie 17 again, starring Zac Efron. I had a conversation with Graham Linehan and Chris O'Dowd about it. It was very strange.
I've said this before, but I got a tweet from Ricky Gervais, which really made me happy. I made a joke on Twitter about how I've been watching this Derek show that Ricky Gervais is talking about. It's supposed to be heartwarming and funny. It's just about this dude murdering people. Because I was making a joke as if I got Dexter and Derek mixed up. You see, it's hilarious as a joke. Anyway, he tweeted back. He didn't just hit favorite, which a lot of celebrities will do. He tweeted back a smiley face emoticon, like a colon with a parenthesis. And it's so weird how much of an impact that made on me. Like, it was so thrilling just to get that little extra something from him. So
yeah,
whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So those are our brushes with fame.
There you go. I think everybody's kind of had one, haven't they, at some point in their life?
Of course.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
There you go. Well, I'll go first because guess what we've got this week?
What's that?
New iTunes reviews.
I was gonna say AIDS. AIDS.
As April said to Ron Swanson on Parks and Rec, you can have two things.
There you go. The first one is in Australia. So an Australian one.
Australia, all right.
There you go. And it's from Stilo0051.
Skilo?
No, Stilo.
Stilo?
Stelio.
Is it? How can you write reviews in Australia when you're too busy being attacked by every animal?
That's right. Some funnel web spiders you got to watch out for. Anyway, he says, my go-to podcast, 5 stars. I'm not big into gaming like I used to, but still love to listen to these 3 blokes' discussions on gaming and non-fiction, non-gaming topics. Each three are different in their own special ways. But put them together and you've got a podcast that just works.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Never boring, and always look forward to the latest episode every Friday. I've been listening to these guys for the last 7 years.
Fuck.
I know. I look forward to many more. Keep up the banter, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you do notice I look in other countries. I don't just stick to the UK, because people leave reviews elsewhere.
Nope. Don't care about them.
Yeah. And we've got one in the UK as well. So not only did we have one, I know, in Australia, but we've got one in the UK as well. So here goes. Let's read the UK one when I finally navigate to it. And I am stalling for time. Which one? Take me long.
If he's English, I can play a special clip.
It's English.
Okay.
Quiet. Englishman, you're all so f***ing pompous. None of you have got any balls.
Well, it's funny you should say that because the reviewer has got ginger balls.
This doesn't count. It's Chinny's brother.
Exactly, but let's slide him. I mean, look, I don't mind.
Are you saying that my brother isn't a human being, you bastard?
I'm just kidding. Like, the idea that a review wouldn't count. Like, of course, it's very nice of him to review us. Go ahead, tell us how great we are.
And he says, the best podcast ever!
That's right.
5 stars. He says, this show is simply amazing. What? The hosts are a dedicated trio and provide superb reviews, information, news, and recommendations for all games, all packaged with heaps of fun, jokes, and laughter. What else can you ask for? Also, perfect for anyone who can't listen live, but have horrendously long journeys into work. Excellent quizzes too, wouldn't you know?
Great. I'll give him that, yeah.
Quizzes are great. So there you go, that's it.
Listeners, that's because he did the quizzes recently.
He does the quizzes. So yeah, there you go. That's the iTunes reviews. Look, if you leave one, I read them. So go people, go to iTunes and leave us reviews.
I have your words featured on our show.
Yeah.
Here's this Parks and Rec thing when Ron Swanson has a hernia and he sits in his office chair all day until April comes to him at the end of the day.
April?
Yeah. Do you live here?
No.
Catch.
She throws a marker at his head.
Yeah, I thought so. I went home, but I had this strange feeling that there was something wrong with you, so I came back.
It's just a minor medical issue.
AIDS?
No, I'm safe.
Blindness?
No,
So like a parasite or a virus or something you get from a bee?
I have a hernia.
Do you have syphilis?
I said it's a hernia.
I know. It's possible to have two things.
I love April and Ron. They work so well together. It's a hernia. Do you have syphilis? I told you it's a hernia. Anyway. Can we end this?
No, can I just say, by the way,
Why cannot we end this shit?
We are doing in a minute.
Shout out. Hey!
We haven't had a review in Canada for ages, so if you're listening in Canada, leave us a review there and I'll read that out next
No,
week.
if you're listening in Canada, don't.
Leave us a review. Chinny, shout outs, any?
I would like to shout out AIDS.
Brilliant.
You know, the 80s were all about you, and people forget about you and stuff, so I just want to make sure you're still around.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which got cancelled, which is one of my
But
favourites.
then it got renewed.
No, it's got renewed.
Oh, by Hulu, didn't it?
Yeah.
I thought NBC.
Oh, well, somebody picked it up.
Someone renewed it anyway.
I did think when he got cancelled, I was like, man, that show has a massive following, and it's very, very, very good. I'm surprised that Fox cancelled it. So, it didn't surprise me that somebody else picked it up, because it's a fantastic show, and I love it.
Brilliant. Duke.
Yeah, I will shout out Antonio because we're going to play some Rocket League one of these days. I will shout out everybody who comes to hang out with us when we record live. It's fun to see you guys and gals, although it's mostly guys. Sausage Party, am I right? And
You are definitely right.
The Duchess because she's awesome. And I will shout out this pile of laundry that's next to me. And I'll shout out all the books on my shelf. All right, I'm done.
Are you done?
Sweet.
Staring at my room.
Well, I guess that's it. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yes, please.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Instead of our usual outro music, we're going to hear Mantra's song Loudmouth, or part of it anyway, because it's the soundtrack of my life.
All right. Yeah, my teachers always told me I'd never amount to nothing. And they may have been right. That's why I jump on a mic every night. 'Cause when I jump on a mic, that's how I know that I'ma be alright. Well, I'ma be alright. My entire life I only had one skill. Never had a crazy ambition to fulfill. While all the other kids were busy ticking those boxes, I was busy cracking jokes, hanging out by the lockers. I was just another loudmouth. Had a voice so loud I couldn't be drowned out. Teachers hated me from the minute they found out. Like, here we go, here's another fucking class clown. Another genius who thinks he's a comedian, even though his IQ's barely intermediate. True, though I never did believe what they were feeding us, so I made up my mind to make trouble. I am a loudmouth, like it or not, I ain't never gonna pipe down. I've been the same since playing on the playground, which is why I'm never gonna put the mic down. I am a loudmouth, like it or not, I am never gonna pipe down. Making noise, all I ever been good at, yeah. So I'ma do that, yeah. So I'ma do that.
Shut your mouth, sit down, and stop distracting everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like anybody gives a shit. Watch TV.
There you go. That's it.
Fella.
Done. Hello. Have you gone?
There was no more podcast.
That's it. No more podcast.
What have I told you about trying to be funny, Stu?
I'm not being funny. I'm just.
That's the way to end the show.
It's just the way I am. What's the matter with you?
Stop it.
Stop being so fucking grumpy because of your runny nose.
Stop
What
being
episode
so...
is this? 469?
4, 6...
Yeah.
No.
436. 436, and Ginny has got a stick up his ass.
See, this is the thing. What, like, why are you trying to be funny?
No, I'm just telling the fucking truth, Mr. Grumpy Chops.
I don't want to grade all these papers. Go away.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sick of grading papers. The end of the school year.
Grading paper. Yeah, but you see, it's a means to an end, though, isn't it?
What?
It's a means to an end because you grade all the papers, and it means that you've finished school for the summer.
The papers never end.
Well, they end in the summer.
Yeah, but I just want it to be summer now.
Well, it'll be summer when you finish grading all the papers.
No, I mean, eventually, yeah, but it should be summer now.
No, but no.
Yeah, what's up with me today?
I don't know. Well, at least you're not as grumpy as Ginny.
Well, I don't know. I think I just have more energy to be grumpy.
That's maybe true. I don't think Chinny's got any energy to be grumpy. He's just grumpy in general.
Fuck you.
See what I mean? He's just giving an example of his grumpiness right there.
All right, guys, I'm going to go grade these papers. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks all listeners, and keep listening and keep sending us shit. Because we like shit.
Bye.